All right, well, welcome. We are flying from Pensacola to Key West this afternoon.
Daher Tree Whiskey Bravo, contact Miami approach on 133.5.
We are flying the RNAV
133.5 for Daher Tree Whiskey Bravo
to Key West International.
Miami approach Daher November 343 Whiskey Bravo is out of 5,500 feet for 1,500 feet.
Runway 27.
Daher November 343 Whiskey Bravo, Miami approach, continue to Burby as planned. Altimeter 29.907.
Flying the Goosel approach on the RNAV to runway 27. We just got cleared to Burby. Still figuring out this RNAV style of navigation. It's not nearly as clear or convenient as ILS, but I'm just kind of figuring it out. I don't know if it's unique to the sim, but it seems to kind of bring us in high and fast. So I struggle with that a little bit because the FAF altitude is, I think, 1,500 at Burby. We're at 3,500 right now. Cleared to Burby, and that is 4.5 minutes away. So we're still doing 190 knots. I can't really slow us down anymore. I don't know if this thing has speed brakes. Speed brakes, let's see. No speed brakes. But we can reduce our descent rate right now because we're not going to have any problems getting to that 1,500 foot altitude, and that'll help slow us down. See over here, we have the MFD. Got good weather today, thankfully, so be able to fly at visual as we get closer. Makes it a little shallower, slows down even more since we're going to be okay on the altitude. Anyway, so you see here is the, back out a little bit, you can see. So we flew from Rigger to Goosel. That's how you pronounce it. If it's not, I apologize. I live in Southern California, so I don't know anything about Key West. But anyway, you see Burby right here is the intersection we're headed to. We're still 10.8 nautical miles from there, and we're already at the appropriate altitude. So I guess we're not going to have any difficulty slowing down here. 155 right now, 155 knots. Had some weather flying out here. There's the Florida Keys out there, beautiful. Had some weather, nothing bad. We basically stayed under it, but we were right at the bottoms of some clouds. Flew in some IMC a little bit, but I was checking for icing the whole time. I didn't see any come up. So a few other questions I'm still unclear on when it comes to RNAV is. And I'm sure that there are answers to this. I'm just not a real pilot, obviously. So I don't know the particulars when it comes to vertical navigation. The RNAV seems fantastic for horizontal navigation, but as near as I can't figure out how to get on a glide path. I know it's not a glide slope because there's no ILS, but I don't know if it's a question of pushing the approach button to get on what effectively is a simulated glide path, since it's the FMS is creating the glide path using input data. And there's no actual radio frequency coming from the runway that can be used to formulate the customary glide slope. But so far, I've just been kind of eyeballing it by looking at the AirNav charts for the respective runway in question. And, you know, computing the altitudes in question at the various intersections, which the RNAV charts provide, at least for the last few miles on approach, and then make sure you're at those altitudes, not below them, and not obviously substantially above them. And that seems to work well enough. And I'm sure that there are probably people who would have a heart attack even hearing me say that, but hey, what can I say? I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I've been simming forever, but I basically limited my IFR flights just because I didn't really understand all the particulars. But I've since been fortunate enough to stumble onto some very useful YouTube channels with Chewy and Squirrel and several others. I mean, I'm just naming a couple there. And it's been very informative. And, you know, it's fun to do IFR if you know how to, because you're not limited by the weather. But it's considerably more complicated. I can see why getting an instrument rating is considered a feather in one's cap. So we're almost at the burpee transition. You can see right there. Once we do, I presume we'll turn right to 273. According to the RNAV charts, the approach course for runway 27 at Echo Yankee Whiskey is 273. So.
Daher 3 Whiskey Bravo, you are 12 miles east of Key West. Contact Key West Tower on 118.2 when inbound. Tower on 118.2 Daher 3 Whiskey Bravo.
So anyway, here we are.
Key West Tower, Daher November 343 Whiskey Bravo, 12 miles east inbound RNAV runway 27 approach. Daher November 343 Whiskey Bravo, Key West Tower. Cleared RNAV runway 27 approach. Altimeter 29.97, wind 155 at 15.
We got some wind.
Key West Tower, Daher November 343 Whiskey Bravo, inbound RNAV runway 27 approach.
15 knot
Daher November
tailwind.
343 Whiskey Bravo, Key West Tower. Cleared RNAV runway 27 approach. Altimeter 29.97, wind 155 at 15.
Yeah, you told me that.
Cleared RNAV runway 27 approach, Daher 3 Whiskey Bravo.
Anyway, you see 155 at 15, so the winds are coming from tailwind, 15 knot tailwind on a 5,000 foot runway. Great. Wonder why they didn't bring us in on runway 9 instead of runway 27. Who knows? Anyway, so you heard we're 10 miles from the airport, and I'm 1,500 feet, so my altitude's fine. But this is where I don't really know, like, do I push the approach button? Let's try and see if that gives us some sort of a glide path. Although, looking at this, look. We already have a glide path. It says G. Is that just a whoa, a little wind there. Is that just a default setting? It must be, because it's holding steady and we're getting closer to the airport and it's not moving. So in theory, plus at this distance, we're probably under the glide path. Let's try approach, see what happens. I don't know, did anything happen? I guess the surest way to find out if...
Daher 3 Whiskey Bravo, cleared to land runway 27. Wind 155 at 15.
So we're cleared to land, so let's start slowing down.
Cleared to land runway 27, Daher 3 Whiskey Bravo.
Gear down. Make sure we got 3 in the green. Keep an eye on our airspeed. Come on already. Good. There we go. And let's get our lights on. Make sure that speed doesn't drop too much. So, I mean, our altitude... Oh, hey, look! It looks like we captured a glide path. It did. You see the GP? Hey! Hey, this is big news. Interesting. Our course is 268, so we're tracking a little off. Probably because of that stupid wind. Okay, flaps time. Probably should have done that already. Speed. Where's that speed? Let's pop up a little bit here. There it is. Right on schedule. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. We managed to get the glide path this time. Fantastic. It's a positive development in the future of our RNAV flights. I wonder if it just pushed that approach button that I needed to do. More flaps. Boy, well, on a day like this, I might as well just hand fly this baby. I mean, I hate to surrender the glide path I've been looking for so long. Watch the speed. See, we're definitely our course 265 now, even though we know the approach course for the runway is 273. Your speed's all right. Gears down, flaps down, good. Appropriate lighting activated. See the Vasi right here. Red over white, that's good. Alright, I'll take the aircraft. Short runway. Oops, 2 reds. Easy, easy. There we go, back to white and red. Took me a long time to get used to the feeling that I was too high to get over that. Just follow the lights, follow your instruments. Flare. Oh boy. Ooh. Okay, good enough. Alright. Reverse. This windy, holy mackerel.
Daher TBM Whiskey Bravo exit runway when able.
I do use the guides there because I'm not experienced enough to know how to navigate an airport on the ground just using the taxiway signs. I find this useful. There's an EMAS system at this airport I learned when I was researching it. Engineered Materials Arresting System.
Daher TBM Whiskey Bravo contact ground on 121.9er.
In case you go long, it's like going into dry quicksand.
Going to 121.9er, Daher TBM.
All right, let's clean up the aircraft. Taxis, turn off pulse lights. Don't need this anymore. Don't need that anymore. Flaps in. And we'll go contact ground. And taxi to parking.
Key West ground, Daher November 343 Whiskey Bravo taxi to parking.
I'm not quite the purist because I don't enter the
Daher
radio
November
frequencies
343
by
Whiskey
hand.
Bravo taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha.
Alright, so we got cleared to take
Taxiing to
taxiway
general
Alpha.
aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Daher 3 Whiskey Bravo.
Oh man, this wind. It is windy. Look at this. Look how the aircraft just turns to the right. It's like a big weather vane. Wow. I'm not really going 30 knots right now. I don't think. There's the windsock over there. Right, see that? Windsock? Find that to be a little unreliable so far in my observation. Sometimes it switches out of very suddenly in a way that's not consistent with the actual wind direction. All right. There's Gary, as Chewy would call him. And getting a new monitor, curve, 49-inch. That Squirrel reviewed. That'll make situations like this much easier. Turn in here. Come on, Gary. Help me out, pal. Thanks, Gary. All right. Parking brake. Yeah, I know.
Aural warning, okay.
All right, and let's... I should have turned that off. Sorry, Gary. Didn't mean to blind you. Off that strobe. Don't need that. Already got that. Flaps are in. Okay. Fuel cutoff. Reconfirm black parking brakes are engaged. Nav light off. And that is that. Except I have to stop that annoying alarm. All right. Ciao. Thanks for watching.